A federal judge appointed by President Obama ordering former White House counsel Don McGahn to testify in the Democrats' impeachment probe. What does this mean for the impeachment inquiry, and will it set a precedent for the White House using executive privilege? We asked criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor David Bruno. David, thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Lauren.
Will McGahn wind up testifying? If he does it set up a chain reaction?
Okay, first, Don McGahn, the ruling says he cannot invoke blanket immunity. So he's got to testify if it holds, though, because this will be appealed. There's the Circuit Court of Appeals that it will be appealed to, and the government is going to be asking for a stay. What that means is that if we're going to appeal, they don't want it to go into effect.
This just sounds like it's going to take a really long time.
It will. It will, I think. And if it goes to the circuit, it could also go to the United States Supreme Court. And I think that this whole process to get finality on this decision will probably drag on past the election.
Wow.
So in all likelihood, this really means nothing. And also, what the ruling says is McGahn has to go, but he still can invoke the executive privilege that was at issue. It's just not a blanket executive privilege. So question by question, if he's asked about communications with the president, he will be invoking executive privilege. And by the way, there's no judge there. It's just Adam Schiff or Nadler or whoever it is, and they do not have an immediate ruling. They will have to go down to the district courts and file actions to hold McGahn or whoever it is in contempt. So to answer your question directly, no, it's never going to actually amount to a testimony by McGahn on executive privilege.
Big picture, what does all this do to the impeachment probe? Listen to what Adam Schiff, the House Intelligence Committee chair, said on CNN over the weekend. Watch.
Do you think President Trump should be impeached?
I want to discuss this with my constituents and my colleagues before I make a final judgment on it.
What? He's leading the push. He has to talk to his constituents?
So disingenuous, honestly. I mean, this is the individual that chaired this proceeding, and every single day, whoever watched this could hear the disdain of Schiff towards this president and basically making arguments for impeachment. So for him to say that he has not made a decision is disingenuous in my mind. And it's not just Schiff. Nancy Pelosi has been saying the same thing over the last couple weeks, too. Yeah. And others.
Yeah. And then the mood of the country is something to factor in as all of this plays out. Let's also talk about the Jeffrey Epstein case. This is the convicted sex offender who allegedly committed suicide.
He was never
convicted.
That's true. Well, he was convicted in Florida on state case, and he got home arrest, you know, but...
The correction is noted and appreciated. He is no longer with us.
Correct.
And the two guards that were supposed to be watching him are also facing charges. This is what one of the defense attorneys, this is the argument that he made. Watch.
Does anyone think that throughout the United States that these are the only two guards that may have taken a nap overnight on their shift? I highly doubt it. Yet these are the only two guards in the whole system who are being charged with the crime and being asked to go to jail.
We're supposed to be watching a high-profile convict, and they were, surfing the internet and doing other things. Will that defense hold up, that because they worked a night shift, they get a pass?
No. And he's talking about sleeping. They are not charged with sleeping. They're charged with forging records. They forged records and lied on their documents and said that they did check the cells, which they did not. They would not be in this situation if they were just sleeping like any other guard across the United States. They forged the records, and that's why they're charged. And that
How much
does
time
carry.
do you expect them to do?
Each charge carries up to 5 years. If convicted, I think they will get federal time.
Wow. David Bruno, thanks for covering all that for us. Cheryl, over to you.